Hello and welcome back to The Comfort Zone. We've got quite a fun episode on our hands today. We are talking about our unpopular opinions, we're talking about your unpopular opinions, and it might get a little bit controversial. So strap in, grab a cuppa, grab a snack. We're going to be in for a ride today.
You're in for a bumpy ride. I keep making Harry Potter references and I don't think you've
Is that from Harry Potter?
Yeah, I don't think you've even seen Harry Potter, have you?
Like, briefly. Not like I've actually sat down and watched it. It's probably just been on.
Yeah, that's like a really niche reference from like the second or third film, so you're definitely going to get that.
So specific. I feel like a lot of people love Harry Potter.
Unpopular opinion.
I don't like Harry Potter.
Which is crazy to me because...
Sorry.
Well, I was about to say it's like my comfort movie, but then the last ones are like not comforting at all. They're terrifying, so...
I feel like if a movie has more than 4 videos, like in a series, films, it just gets to the point where they're trying to pull at strings for nothing.
I would agree, except J.K. Rowling... J.K. Rowling did write, like, however many books there are, 6 or 7 books.
Yeah.
And I feel like they kind of had to... They couldn't just, like, say, okay... JC actually thinks we've done too many films now, so we're going to stop.
It's all up to me. I'm going to decide.
Do you want to start with an unpopular opinion?
I'm going to start with my win and wobble. I don't know about you.
Yep, I forgot the format of our podcast, sorry.
I'm just so excited.
Just so excited about your
Do you
win.
know what? Yeah, because we were just saying a minute ago that we feel so chill and zen and at peace right now. Not like in a tired way. You said tired way because I feel like you're tired a lot of the time. I've just exposed you.
Wait, no, I said I'm not tired.
What did
I
say
thought you were
wrong?
just saying, not in a tired way for me, but you're always tired. I was like, I'm not actually tired.
No, that's what I was going to say. You're not tired.
Yeah, I'm not tired right now.
Yeah.
It's a
That
win.
felt like a personal attack and I feel really bad.
Well, but I am tired all the time. Like, let's be honest, I am tired all the time.
Yeah.
How often do I say I'm tired? Every time you see me.
Okay.
But today I'm not, so I'm breaking out of that.
Yeah, that wasn't in a mean way. I was just like, wow.
Unpopular opinion. JC's diary's a bully.
I didn't mean it like that.
No.
We just feel like this sense of calm. I think it's because the sun's out. Has it been a grey week? I feel like it has been.
It has been a very grey week. It's also been stormy.
Yeah, and rainy. It was raining yesterday morning because I wanted to go out for a walk yesterday and I couldn't because it was raining. But it's a lovely day today and I feel like it's put us in such a good mood.
Yeah.
Good vibes, good energy.
Sunshine.
But that's not my win of the week, although that is a nice win. My win of the week this week is, I feel like I've said it a million trillion times, I've had a bath every day this week and it's been lovely.
Honestly,
no words.
No words. I'm just so happy for you that you've
Thank you.
After our self-care episode last week,
Yeah.
you really went in hard and you said I'm going to have a bath every day.
Yeah, I've literally embodied self-care this week.
Yeah.
It hits like 7 o'clock, bubble bath, cup of tea, Reese's Pieces, living the dream.
Do you still have Reese's Pieces left over from Christmas?
I actually do.
That's so fair. JC's one of those people, like, you know when you say you like something once, except you actually do love Reese's, but everyone knows that you love Reese's, so you now have like a lifetime supply of Reese's.
I forgot because I have like a chocolate cupboard. They didn't all fit in the chocolate cupboard, so I forgot there's some in with the pasta. So they're my next target.
So funny. You're making spaghetti bolognese and you're just like, might pop one of those in there.
They're probably my like one thing that I have for my personality trait. You know, some people like my personality is Taylor Swift. My personality is Reese's Pieces.
And I respect it. Do you know I'm getting distracted because I keep looking at my phone because it's got unpopular opinions on it?
Put it away.
It's making me stressed. I actually feel like that. No, that needs to go under the blanket so I can't see it because this is weird tangent. If I can see my phone, I can't relax. If I'm sat in bed and I'm trying to read, if I can see my phone like out of the corner of my eye, my brain will just want to check it, so I actually have to hide it from myself.
That's so interesting.
It's very weird, but anyway.
Even if you don't have any notifications or like you put it on do not disturb.
Yeah, it's
You have
just
to just
it's
go on
just there, so I'm just like constantly wanting to reach for it. Yeah, so that's why I've hidden my phone under the blanket.
Would you, sorry, this is another tangent, I'm just really intrigued. Would you get one of those lockbox things?
No, because I'm scared that if I needed my phone in an emergency, it wouldn't give me it. And then once I knew I could get it out in an emergency, I'd just go, oh, well, I kind of want it right now.
Yeah.
And I'd just open it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Especially if like you're getting a phone call and you're like scrambling to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really stressful. I'm like, what's the password? I would never know what the password was either.
Yeah.
And then it would be written on my phone, so I wouldn't even be able to check.
That's true.
So I'd just sit there crying.
You never have your phone again. Throw it at the wall.
Please never suggest this again. I'm getting very upset.
Need to send that back because that was your birthday present.
Oh, it's actually my birthday. How many days from when we post this tomorrow?
It's the 20th.
I don't know. I don't know what day of the month it is. I think my birthday's in about 5 days.
I think it's my birthday.
I think it might be my birthday soon. I'm actually not sure.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I actually am. I've actually been asked by a few different people how I feel about my birthday, which is kind of funny because I've never really been asked that before. And I feel like usually I'd say, I'm really excited, but I also feel really stressed because I need it to be a perfect day. But this year I'm just kind of like, I don't have any plans. No, I do. Well, I have a plan to go for dinner with my family, but I'm not seeing loads of people in the day or like doing anything crazy. And I don't really feel stressed about it. I just kind of feel like it's a birthday. That's nice. My mum's going to make me a nice cake. Very excited about that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I don't really have that many feelings around it, which is nice because sometimes it can be like big and scary and like, oh, it's my birthday and I'm not earning $1 million a year.
Yeah, there can be so much pressure on the day itself to make it a good day, but also just to evaluate where you are in life. So it can...
Because suddenly you're a certain age and you had all these expectations of what you'd be like, and
yeah,
it does get stressful.
It's a special day, but it's also just another day.
Yeah.
Like you're the same person as you was when you were 22.
Yeah.
Well, you are 22, but when you're 23.
Yeah, but
back.
I'm not really 22 because
yeah,
I'm going into like my 24th year of being alive, right?
Yeah.
Freaks me out.
Technically, you're 24.
Well, by the time when you turn 1, you've lived a year.
Yeah.
So I'm turning 24. That makes you like 25.
No, that's not. Just I feel like in my head,
Quarter life crisis incoming.
I feel like 25 in my head is like adult.
You are an adult.
I am.
Look at you.
I'm doing adult things.
Yeah.
Was that your win?
No. I don't think I've got onto my win.
No, we're full of tangents today.
Full of tangents. What is my win? My win this week is kind of I can't really pinpoint it in like one thing. It's more that I've made lots of steps to making my life better, and not huge ones like buying a house or a car or like doing something crazy, but things like I have taken the dog out for a walk before midday, or actually like before 10 a.m. I went out to the shop and I bought loads of foods that I really like because I was getting really bored of looking in the cupboards and not having anything that I like wanted to eat, and I like to have an abundance because I feel like that's what's the healthiest for me. And so I did that, and I bought things that sometimes I don't buy because they're not on offer, and I was like, you know what, if I'm going to spend money on food, I want to spend money on food that I'm going to enjoy, and if I have the privilege to do that, then I'm going to allow myself to do that. So I bought food that I like. I have got up earlier. I've tried to get into a bit of a sleep routine. It hasn't really worked every night, although I did get up successfully by myself at 6 a.m. today, so round of applause for me, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know, although I've actually had quite a difficult week this week, I've also really actively been trying to put taking care of myself basically first. I even bought a new water bottle so that I would drink new water.
New water?
Drink new water, drink more water.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow, that's very inspiring. I feel like having a good routine just makes you excited for the day. Makes you want to wake up, makes you want to get stuff done.
Feels like there's
Proud
more
of you.
that you're able to do. Yeah, thank you.
Living your best life.
Living my best life. What is your wobble?
My wobble. My sister rescued a dog 2 days ago. She works at a stables, and I think it was running around in the field and it was covered in cuts, and she decided to take it in, and it was actually very friendly to her. Like, it came up to her, wasn't barking, wasn't aggressive. She put it in like a cage to keep it safe throughout the day, and obviously got it checked, microchipped, put things out on Facebook. No one claimed this poor little dog. Honestly, it was so cute.
And he didn't have a microchip?
No, he didn't have a microchip.
Oh.
Yeah, so if he was someone's, they clearly didn't want him anymore because they just let him go, unfortunately. So she messaged in the morning and I was like, he's so cute. Don't really have the time and space for a dog, but I mean, come on. And then we kind of thought about it. We were like, no, we'll leave it. And then she found someone to take it in and sent another video. And at that point, I was like, no, he's going to be mine. Like, I just had a funny feeling. Like, one of his ears was flopped over. He kept falling asleep, but he didn't let himself actually close his eyes. Because in my head, it's like he didn't believe that he had a safe place and he was now in the warmth and he now had food. So he didn't. Yeah,
I'm gonna cry.
So he didn't want to fall asleep in case he woke up and it was all a dream and he was back out in the cold.
Stop.
I know. So at that point, my heart was like, I can't let him go. And I was thinking, right, do I break this other family's heart now? Do we say we're keeping him? We didn't in the end, and he's gone to a very lovely home. But part of me misses him a lot, even though I never actually met him. I just feel like
you had that thought for a moment that he was going to be yours.
Yeah, he just crept his way into my heart, and I was like,
he's so cute. I've seen pictures of him.
I don't know. I don't think he was a breed. I think he was just a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I've said if anything goes wrong, because they have another dog, and obviously you don't know the temperament of like a stray with other dogs. So if anything goes wrong, it's a sign. And
if anything goes wrong, bring him to me.
Yes. I mean, it's not really a wobble, but my heart hurts for him.
It's a wobble, but it's also a win because now there is a dog with a loving home.
Exactly.
And your sister saved a dog.
I know.
And that's really adorable.
She's such an animal whisperer. What's your wobble?
My wobble is how devastating the idea of that dog not being able to close his eyes is. That really upset me.
I need to show you the video.
No. We just readjusted ourselves because we were both like gradually sinking into the sofa. My wobble this week is that, and I want to preface this by saying that I don't believe this about anyone else, but my brain only says it about me, and I obviously preach about self-acceptance and about being accepting of every part of you because I truly believe that. But I also think it's really important that we acknowledge that we are humans and we're not always going to be 100% happy with ourselves, even though we talk a lot about accepting ourselves. We too have struggles, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that. It doesn't take away from the fact that my aim at the end of the day is to fully accept myself. I'm just saying that even if what I'm saying contradicts the stuff that I stand for, that's just because I'm a human and I do struggle. Basically, all of that aside, my skin has been breaking out more than it has probably broken out in years, and I have huge sore hormonal kind of cystic spots on my chin, and I've got spots on my forehead which I don't ever get. I've got a spot under my eye, which is like, who gets spots directly under their eyes? Like, how does that even happen?
Sounds painful.
It is really sore and it's quite itchy, and it's every time I take my makeup off, it's so red and so raw. And even though I know that anyone else, if they had that on their face, I wouldn't look at them and I wouldn't think anything bad.
I haven't even noticed.
Thank you. I mean, I've been covering my like self up with makeup, but not because I'm like, I need to cover myself up just because I wear makeup. But I keep looking at myself and feeling quite upset, and it's not like I'm having thoughts and being like, oh, you're ugly. Like, I'm not thinking that. It's just that it's so depressing when you think that your skin is clearing up and then all of a sudden it gets really flared up or really sore again. And obviously I've spoken before about not wanting to call skin good or bad, because I think that we need to let go of that kind of, I don't know, the moral kind of words that we use.
Is just skin.
Skin is just skin. Acne is more than just how it looks. It is actually painful. It's itchy. It is frustrating. And yeah, that's my wobble. And I think that it's okay to admit that it can be hard to have acne sometimes, even if you are trying to be accepting of yourself and you wouldn't judge anyone else. Unpopular opinions.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me then and put me on the spot.
No, what, for your unpopular opinion?
I can jump in. I feel like this is quite an intense one to start on because it's kind of contradicting myself. But I think if I didn't post on social media so much and love just creating content, I feel like I have a very creative brain, and that's part of the reason that I love social media, is because I can share that creativity with so many people. It's not about numbers or follow accounts or, I don't know, trying to build a name in a sense. I don't really know how to explain it, but I just love sharing my creativity with other people. So if there was a way to do that didn't involve being able to see everyone else's lives and compare every inch of myself to hundreds of thousands of people, I would. So in other words, if social media wasn't such a big part of my life, I wouldn't have social media, and I feel like I would be happier for it. Which is a weird one to say, because obviously I love social media so much because it's brought me so much connection and we have such a lovely community, and I think because we're both in such a nice space on social media that it feels comforting, it feels warm to be in. But as a consumer, I wish I didn't have social media.
Yeah, I actually really agree. I really feel like the world would be a happier place without social media. And that is saying that as someone who loves using social media to help people. And I 100% feel like there is that good out there and that needs to be acknowledged. But I also, part of me feels like we wouldn't have to do what we were doing if social media wasn't a thing. Like,
that's so true.
Obviously, mental illness existed before social media. People struggled with their mental health. Like, that is what it is. But the stuff that we're talking about, like comparison and just this constant feeling of not being good enough, not being worthy of things, not looking the way you're meant to look, all of that, so much of that. Obviously, there's tabloids, media, all of that. But so much of the stuff that we do to combat that wouldn't even be necessary if social media wasn't the way it is in the first place.
No, I completely agree. It's like you're fighting a losing battle
Mm.
because the more that people go on social media and the more people post, the more we have to do to stop the messaging that's going out there. So it's
A double-edged sword.
double-edged sword, yeah. Two things fighting against each other, and it's sitting in a limbo of it can either be really good if you choose for it to be, or it can be really bad.
You don't always have control over it
Yeah.
because you have your For You page, which just shows you random stuff. And we all have brains that are interested in things that they probably shouldn't be interested in sometimes. And we will go down rabbit holes and we will be like, I know this isn't good for me to look at, but I'm going to look at it. Like,
Yeah.
out of morbid curiosity sometimes, if I see someone on my For You page who's posted a what I eat in a day, which is like a ridiculous thing to share and really harmful, sometimes I will just watch it out of literally morbid curiosity
Yeah.
because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is awful, and that's what draws me in, and I don't want to see that, so I will at the end of it click not interested. But
Yeah.
sometimes you can't override that bit of your brain that is being fed that content, and you don't always have full control over what you're taking in and seeing with social media, even if you want to.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day. I think it was a documentary about it was in a school and all of the children, they were probably like 10 to 13, had to put their phones in a box for 2 weeks and they were all not allowed on social media. Some of the kids really enjoyed it. Some of the kids were so addicted and struggled so much. But in this experiment, the two adults that did it set up new accounts as children. So completely new accounts, put in their age as the youngest age you could be, hadn't interacted with anything. The things they were being fed on their For You pages as young children were absolutely, honestly disgusting. Social media channels want you to be addicted. They want you to...
Keep using that app.
Yeah, they want to not exploit you, but...
Kind of, though.
Yeah.
Because they also make money from advertising to you.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that happened with TikTok in like the past week, where TikTok went down really conveniently as Donald Trump comes into presidency, and then it's like, the President Donald Trump has saved TikTok. So everyone's like, I was struggling without TikTok. Now Donald Trump saved it. And even the people that don't like him have him to thank for that. Social media can literally be used for propaganda, and that is terrifying.
Just they can feed absolutely anything to you.
Yeah, they can show you what they want to show you, and if they
Yeah.
want to advertise things to you, they can advertise things
Yeah.
to you. It's like the rise of Andrew Tate in the For You pages of young boys, and they
Yeah.
all genuinely are being shown the videos and the comments to accompany it that make them think that the way Andrew Tate thinks is like normal and fun and cool. And it's like, we don't even see that side of social media.
Yeah.
But that is happening. Like, the world would be such a different place.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just get fed stuff that's completely out of your control.
Mm.
And the thing it's doing to the younger generations is scary.
It is really scary. So I feel like that might be an unpopular opinion because a lot of people do love social media, and that's fine. But I also feel like I do agree with you.
Yeah, just in a overall sense, would be happier without it. Really would.
Yeah.
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 Shall I go with one?
Yeah.
I feel like this might be controversial, and I definitely need to explain myself because I don't want to come across... Explain myself? I haven't done anything wrong. I just mean I don't want to come across saying something that I don't mean.
Okay.
But my unpopular opinion, copying isn't complimentary. And what I mean by that is, say when an artist creates a piece of art and another person copies it, and they might change it slightly, but it is so heavily inspired by this original piece of art. Or when someone recreates a reel that you spent hours and hours on and they post it as if it was their idea and they don't give you credit. I understand the mindset of being like, it's a compliment, it's because they like it. I totally get that. But as someone who puts lots of effort into their work or puts hours into creating something, to have someone take that and benefit from it without giving you any credit for the fact that you did it first or you definitely inspired them, I just don't think that's a compliment. I just think it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, I think the credit thing is massive. If you put inspired by, credit to, doesn't make it necessarily okay, but it's like, okay, thank you. Like, you're acknowledging the work that someone else has put into it. But that does irritate me so much.
It happens.
I feel like this is getting
so
personal.
often.
I don't mean, this is no hate to absolutely anyone.
This couldn't be personal to anyone because the amount of reels I have scrolled past that have been directly copied off you, like, there is too many people to count.
The thing is, I've got my head around it in the sense of all I want to do is spread a positive message, and if it's going to reach more people by being posted through other accounts, I'm okay with that. But it's just when people say, thank you so much, to
To-
people that say like, oh, this is amazing, and then it's like, but wait, you didn't think of that.
Yeah. And I feel, okay, so this is the thing, I fully agree. Spreading a positive message, 100%. I would love people to do that more. If someone's inspired by my content to spread a positive message, amazing, love it, keep doing it. My issue comes with bigger influencers stealing content to grow their platforms and getting paid for something that they basically didn't come up with, didn't put the work into. Like, there are brands that will repost a bigger content creator's content over someone small that came up with it, and I don't think that's fair. I know that the world doesn't revolve around content creation. This also happens in, like, you see small artists who post things and then other people will copy it and start selling it on Etsy.
Yeah.
Like, all that sort of stuff. It happens all the time. And I don't gatekeep clothes or anything. Like, I'm not like, oh, don't copy the jumper that I wear. Like, wear whatever you want. This is more about when people act like ideas that have come from other people's hard work and their brains are theirs and then they profit off it. I don't like that.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay, especially when it's something very specific, like that you actually know that you've never seen anywhere else, and it's just like, oh, okay. Thanks for that.
It's more when I see like a reel that I know you've come up with and the comments are like, love this so much. Or like the comments will be like, you always come up with great ideas.
So,
And the reply's like, thank you. And it's like, that was Jason's idea. I get angry on your behalf, but I shouldn't.
you do. You advocate for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is what I do.
I just, I'm just kind of scroll past at this point because that was a really great noise.
I can't even recreate. Yeah, no, that was literally not targeted at anyone.
No, not at all. Like,
It's just something that happens all the time,
and
not just to us.
Yeah, I get inspired by other people as well.
Yeah.
Creating content is hard. To have new ideas 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been doing it for 2-3 years. How many ideas is that? Can't even do the maths.
And there's so many people creating content. It is hard.
But yeah.
And also, like, yeah, I will be inspired by someone else, but I'll always credit the person I was inspired by.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's, to be fair, sometimes it's such a big trend that you don't actually know who originally started it. It's more when it's a direct copy and it performs better than the original person. It's like the same as when Shein will steal a small artist's like print and shove it on a t-shirt and suddenly they're making loads of money off someone's work.
Yeah.
I know people say that it's a compliment, but I don't know, I just find it a bit unfair.
No, if it was a compliment, then you would thank the person because you want people to be aware of their work as well.
Yeah. Literally, like, once, do you follow Em Clarkson?
Yeah.
I literally love her. Once she posted a reel that was, like, similar to mine, and the caption was like, I saw a reel by @Ray Mitchell, and I just wanted to, like, recreate it. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is that thing of, like...
Claiming someone else's as your own to profit from it.
Yeah, that's my issue, which is not the same thing as trying to spread a positive message. And me, I'm not going to be mad at that.
Yeah.
But, you know,
we get you.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you. I just get worried because, like, I love doing unpopular opinion. Well, I've never done them before, but I love the idea of this. But then I'm also like, I'm the sort of person that needs to explain myself so that nobody misunderstands me because I'm terrified of people thinking that I'm saying something rude about someone when I'm not.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have thoughts.
Yeah.
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 Next one.
Well, your turn, I guess.
Yeah, this is just a little light-hearted one. Honestly, walking is quite boring. I get quite bored. But do you know what? It's quite a good thing for me to be bored. I enjoy being bored on a walk because it means you're outside, you're in nature, you're getting fresh air. But if I was to go on an hour walk by myself, couldn't do it.
No, I would need headphones and a podcast.
Yeah. I guess it is different with music, and I get bored of music so quick.
I get bored of music. I would need, if I was going to be walking, like if I was going to go on like a mental health walk, I would need either a friend with me or my headphones.
Yeah.
And I get quite anxious about having my headphones on because I'm like, what if I can't hear what's happening around me? Not as in like I'm in danger, but if there's like a bike coming along, am I not going to move out of the way of it?
That's why I like my headphones, because they don't go in your ears. So you can hear both. It's actually quite nice. Like, you can hear the birds, you can hear your podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your walks that you don't do.
Well, no, I have been doing them. That's the thing. Even though I do find them boring, like the thought of doing it is like, oh, don't want to. I like being able to switch my head off and like be present and actually address any thoughts that are going on in my head as well. Generally, they are quite boring. But boring doesn't have to be a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Boring isn't a negative.
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to say there, but I can't remember. Oh, do you know what actually makes them boring to me, I think, is when you're constantly walking the same route or going in the same place and seeing the same things.
Yeah.
I feel like I've exhausted all of the walking routes here, so I need to drive to somewhere new to take a walk.
I do know what you mean. Like, if you're not going on a walk with a dog or to talk with a friend or doing something at the same time, I do just find it a little bit boring. But then I also don't know if that's because my association with exercise like that is from when I was unwell. Like,
to be fair, now you've said that, that makes a lot of sense. Because if I was to force myself on a walk, it would be boring because I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, but I was only doing it to exercise and count steps.
Whereas if you go on a walk
with a purpose.
With a purpose of like, I want to get fresh air because I know it will help me sleep.
Yeah.
It's when you're doing a walk for the sake of walking. If you walk for the sake of exercise, I don't think it's ever going to be enjoyable.
Maybe that's something I need to work on then.
Yeah. But you don't do your 10 minutes a day for steps or anything.
No, it's literally just to get some fresh air because I do not leave the house. Like, I literally don't leave the house. So it's just to get fresh air, wake myself up. I don't know, if I've been sat down all day, it's just nice to feel human again.
Yeah.
So it's never actually for that, but maybe that's where my deep-rooted opinion comes from.
Yeah.
Because walks have always been boring for me in the past because they've always been for the wrong reason. Wow. We've realised a lot here.
We're learning so much about ourselves.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down a bunch of unpopular opinions last night when I was about to sleep. They all came into my head, which is worrying. Like, why am I lying there thinking about controversial things? Wow. This one I feel like is a bit random, and maybe this is a bit rogue, but in my opinion, right, if you're not from the UK, maybe this isn't how it works elsewhere. In the UK, if you want to watch live TV, like the main channels on TV, you have to pay a TV license. If you don't, they send you a bunch of letters. They turn up at your house. You don't actually have to let them in, but they act all big and scary, and you have to pay your TV license.
I think the fine is £1,000.
It's something silly. And I think the TV license is like, what, 100 and something a year? So
it's a lot.
it is. At the end of the day, though, it kind of works out like a Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
But
I never knew that, though, growing up. That's the thing. Like, you never know that you have to actually pay for your TV. So when we moved out and realised we were like, whoa, that's an expense that we weren't budgeting for.
But that being said, the only channel that doesn't have adverts is BBC.
Wait, it doesn't have adverts?
BBC doesn't have adverts.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
But if you want to watch ITV, you still have to pay a TV licence. But ITV are making money off me watching TV because they're advertising to me. So why am I paying? That's like paying for Netflix and still getting ads, which I know you can do now, which is also bloody ridiculous. Why am I paying for something and then being advertised to? If ITV, Channel 4, all of those, if they're making money by advertising to me, because they will be, because people will be paying for the advertising slot, why am I paying to watch? There's so many adverts. Why am I paying?
Adverts irritate me so much as well.
They're always so rubbish.
To be fair, that's one of the main reasons that I don't watch live TV, and if I watch anything, I'll watch it on catch up. Even though there's unskippable ads on catch up as well.
Criminal.
I know.
Actually criminal. I know that's rogue and like really not something I need to be getting angry about, but
but it is annoying because also like we literally don't watch live TV, but say there's one thing on completely random that we want to watch, then you have to pay £120 to watch one TV show. We don't watch live TV, but there was one thing I wanted to watch on BBC iPlayer, and BBC iPlayer you have to have a TV licence for. So I watched a minute of this thing on BBC iPlayer before I realised, oh no, I'm not actually allowed to do this. I had emails, I had letters come through my door. I tried to pay for a month so that I could cancel out the minute of this show that I'd watched. You're not allowed to pay for a month, you had to pay for 6 months. So I almost had to pay, what, £60 for accidentally watching a minute of TV.
I honestly think it's like so unfair and also just so inaccessible. Like I honestly think they do it so that people that can't afford to pay it, they can catch them and then fine them and then make more money. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Don't approve.
It's getting a bit political. I actually do have a few more unpopular opinions before we move on to their unpopular opinions. But I'm going to get through these kind of quickly because...
Hit me.
Okay, might be a bit rogue.
They're all a bit rogue, apparently.
I've said this at the start. The next one might be a bit rogue. Surprise, surprise.
That's why it's unpopular. People don't think about it.
Yeah, that's true. This unpopular opinion might be unpopular, just warning you. We need to stop cancelling people and start looking at the people above. What I mean by this, obviously, if someone's like being racist or something, cancel them, like, whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sometimes when I'm on TikTok and I'm scrolling and there's something about Shein. If someone in the comments is like, I buy from Shein, everyone jumps on them. Everyone is like, you're an awful person, you're terrible. Guys, I would never shop at Shein. But why are we not recognising that the issue is the cost of living. I don't know how to explain this well, but like we're constantly getting angry at each other. It's like we're pointing fingers at each other going like, you shop at Shein, and that person can only afford fast fashion. And I'm
Yeah.
still, we know that people use Shein for like excessive buying and that's bad, but there's so much shaming of people that can only afford fast fashion or can only afford to shop in shops like Primark, instead of actually shaming the people who are in power, who are the reason that people can't afford anything. Like everyone, there's this culture of everyone getting mad at everyone, but never looking at the people that the issue actually stems from.
Yeah.
And that's why cancel culture annoys me. And not if someone does something really bad, if someone's an abuser, if someone is racist, sexist, anything, obviously they don't deserve a platform. This is more about us pointing fingers at each other and getting mad at each other for like seemingly small things when the issue actually stems from such a higher place. It's like there's not enough anger at the people that have put the country in this position or put the world in, like the billionaires is what I'm saying. It's so hard to word because I'm really not trying to say that I'm like, go shop at Shein. Like Shein's whole thing is awful, but a lot of us are spending our energy on getting angry at other people who are just trying to survive.
It's more that we should stop shaming people for doing what they know and what they can do.
I think at the end of the day, in my head, I'm like, people are going to shop at Shein if that's their only issue.
Yeah.
If that's their only issue, if that's their only option.
Yeah.
The issue is, why are we even allowed to buy from Shein?
Why does it even exist?
If we know how bad it is for the environment, if we know how awful it is as a company, why are we allowing people to buy from Shein?
Especially like the people that actually own the company, or like, this is me getting really into a world that I don't know anything about, but the people that like look after climate change in the world and all of this stuff, if they really cared, they could put a stop to it. No,
well,
if it wasn't all about money and
people that campaign for climate change, no, the billionaires don't listen to them because the billionaires don't want to listen to them, because going against like trying to end climate change it's just not profitable.
It's just money. So
I don't know, I just feel like we've got into a culture of like jumping on each other and being angry at each other for every small thing, because a lot of people are living difficult, miserable lives. But the reason that people are living like that is because billionaires are in control of things and don't actually care about everyone else. Like 1% of the world has however much of the wealth. Like there is so much wealth for a tiny amount of people.
It's not fair to shame people for doing what they afford, because if they didn't shop at Shein, maybe they couldn't wear clothes. So like, you have to just let people make the most of whatever situation they're in. And
at the end of the day, the issue is with the people that run the country, because everybody should have equal access to sustainable clothing, and people don't. And okay, I have one last unpopular opinion that I'm going to share, and this I don't think should be an unpopular opinion, and I don't think with our audience it will be an unpopular opinion, but I think with general society, generally people our age, people actually probably older people as well, won't have this opinion, and that's why it's an unpopular opinion. Attention seeking is just seeking attention, and attention is a human need. I hear the phrase, oh, she's so attention seeking so often, and it's like, why are we putting shame on that?
It's
attention,
not a bad thing.
No, attention is literally a human need. Like if someone is seeking attention, it's because they're not getting the attention that they need. Somebody seeking attention is a sign of a problem, and I just feel like we have demonized the idea of people reaching out for help or crying for help. When people say, oh my God, it's a cry for help, like it's a cry for help. Like a cry for help. Why has that just become cry for help? It's like that person's crying out for help. Why? Like, I don't know. I just feel like the language we use around the way people express their emotions it's really horrible.
I haven't even thought about that deeply, but that's just so true, because even with people like filming themselves crying, I've done it because I want to share that you're allowed to have these emotions. If no one shared themselves crying, no one would want to cry in front of other people because it would be shameful.
Like I will film myself crying for a few reasons. Okay, first of all, I won't film myself if I'm in the point of like a panic attack or like crying where I can't even think about filming. Obviously I won't film it. Like, so I don't film my worst moments, no, and I don't film every time I cry. But if there is a point where I'm having thoughts in my head like, everything feels horrible right now, but I know that things are going to get better. I'll film myself crying because A, I can prove to future me
Yeah.
that I've had these lows, but they always get better. And also, you can share that message with the world. Like, that's not, people are so mad at people filming themselves crying, and it's like,
Why, if you film yourself happy, why can't you film yourself sad as well? Because it's
Yeah.
just the spectrum of emotion. It's just life.
I filmed a reel about that. It was literally
Yeah.
like, I film every part of my life. I don't just film me crying,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to ignore the fact that the lows happen, because that is a real part of life.
And it's probably become so shameful because we choose not to share that. And it's, again, it goes so deep rooted of the whole attention seeking thing. If you're a child and you've cut yourself because you've fallen over and you cry, it's because you're in pain and you want help, but then people will tell you that you just want attention and brush it off.
It's really sad, and it makes me really
Yeah.
angry. And I know it won't be an unpopular opinion for a lot of people, but it definitely, I still hear so many people saying so and so is attention seeking. And yeah,
That's
but
because they just need attention because they need help.
yeah, because humans need attention, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Agreed.
let's move on to the listeners' unpopular opinions.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, thank you so much for submitting your unpopular opinions. By the way, whenever we say questions or opinions or anything, it's always on our Instagram. So go and follow our Instagram. We will link it in the description, and it is at
The Comfort Zone _pod.
perfect. I did know what it was. I just wanted to be a presenter for
You
a
wanted
minute.
to put me on the spot.
Do you want to read?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. First one is money does bring happiness.
Okay.
Low-key, agreed.
I mean, you can't really deny that. Like, the things that bring you happiness in your life are probably going to be people around you
Yeah.
and experiences, which is not a material item.
But experiences is because a lot of experiences cost money.
But that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Like, it's not a material item, but you can't go on a holiday that's bringing you happiness if you don't have the money to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like if I was to list out my favourite things in my life, nothing would be my phone or the TV. It would be the people in my life, or, I don't know, food. Even like if you cook yourself a nice dinner, that costs money. If all you can afford is, I don't know, like a tinned soup every single night, you're going to be unhappy because you need money to... I feel like this is all getting so controversial, but it's true.
It's not... I don't think this should be controversial. Like, the world that we live in a capitalist society. Like, if you don't have money, you don't really have anything. Even think about right now. When I think about what makes me happy in my life, the people in my life, okay, cool. I couldn't see you if I didn't have money.
True.
You couldn't live with your boyfriend if you didn't have the money to rent a place together,
So
or
true.
like people buying a house for their family.
Money does...
Money does buy happiness, and I
Yeah.
think it's really nice to be like, material things aren't everything, because they're not. But I also think it's kind of upsetting sometimes when, let's be honest, there's often rich people that are like, money doesn't buy happiness, and it's like, you're saying that because you've got the money.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
agreed. It can be quite hard for people because, like, I grew up in a household that didn't have that much money, and it would be honestly, it would be a bit insulting for people with more money to be like, okay, but money doesn't buy happiness. I have everything that you want and more, and I'm still not happy. So then it gives people no hope as well, because if you're constantly going to be stuck in a cycle of being unhappy, then why would you even try? Do you know what I mean?
I fully, yeah. I
Not
think,
that people that don't have money don't try. That came out wrong, but
I just feel like the whole money doesn't buy happiness thing, it should be material possessions.
Yeah.
Won't bring you happiness.
That's the
because
best.
That's
best way to
true.
say it, yeah.
But you like.
But even thinking, there's just so many sides to this, because now that I've grown up and I earn my own money, I do still have things in my life that I don't enjoy, and I'm still unhappy at certain moments. So the unhappiness is probably like an even wave from when I had no money to when I had money. But it's just different things that make you sad, I guess, when you have money. I'm saying this like I'm absolutely rich. I'm not. But you know what I mean? Like,
I
going
guess
from, like,
if you don't have money, you might be sad.
but going from like a teenager to having a job.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No, agree.
End of.
Fully agree. And obviously, rich people can struggle too and can have mental health problems, etc. That is not to say that they can't. It's literally just
Yeah.
addressing the fact that you kind of do need money to live.
It's more the quality of life than what actually you have in your life. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Next one. Should we
Next
read
one.
it?
Okay. Recovery whilst becoming a gym/running athlete is not recovery.
Period.
Period. Well, I don't want anyone to think that I'm like slagging anyone off
No,
specifically
no.
because I actually don't know anyone that Like,
done that.
I know that this has happened, like, as a general theme. I know this is a thing that happens, but I don't follow anyone or know anyone who's done this. So please know that we're never targeting things at people ever. We're not those sorts of people. But I do fully agree. Like, the pipeline of restrictive eating disorder to coping with it via exercise, that is a thing.
In my head, it's a way to control the recovery process and gain weight in a way that society still deems as acceptable, even though that's not even a thing. But it's just trying to keep that control, I guess, over your appearance.
I honestly think that if I had been exercising in like a gym rat kind of running girl way, the only reason I would have been doing that during my recovery is because I wanted to gain muscle rather than gaining fat.
Yeah.
And what is that? That's a disordered thought.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be trying to control the way my body holds what it holds. I should just live my life and
let your body be a result of
let
that.
my body be a result of that. And this does actually lead into the next unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Which is why this was so interesting, because everyone had such different opinions. But the next one says exercise and recovery isn't bad as long as you have a healthy mindset. So I don't know your thoughts on this, but with what I was just saying, I don't know how possible it is to have a healthy mindset around exercise and recovery. But I do think that when we're talking about exercise here, I mean going to the gym, weightlifting, running, things that are measurable, things that you can get a PB in, things like that.
Exercise can be fun in the sense of tennis, or you play squash a lot, or going for a walk. Like, exercise doesn't just have to be exercise to move your body and to burn calories. Exercise can be an experience. It can be socializing. It can be bonding with people. It can be fun. But if you have an eating disorder, you're going to approach any form of movement as a way to burn calories. That's just fact. Like, I mean, I feel like if you're not, you're lying, honestly. Sorry, that felt so personal, but I know there's been times in my life where I've said, I'm not doing this to burn calories, I'm just doing this for fun. Deep down, I know I'm not. Like, deep down, I knew that I was just saying that just to make everyone happy, but I knew that I was thinking about how many calories it would burn.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, in early recovery, if you're trying to claim that in early recovery you're going to the gym or running because you just love doing that, I do think you might need to check in with yourself. And of course, like, wanting to make your body stronger, I understand that. Like, I went through a phase of being like, I want to have my body be stronger, but I had to do that in ways that was so different from the obsessive exercise I used to do, or was so different from any restrictive patterns. Like, it was not possible for me to get obsessed with, like, playing tennis. I'm sure it would be. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but, like, for me, playing tennis was only ever with friends, with family. It was a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I wanted to strengthen my body, I could do something like that. I just didn't allow myself to get obsessed with going to the gym.
Yeah. I was going to say a good test would be to stop exercising for a month, 2 months. If you really wholeheartedly miss it because you love it so much, fine. If you can't miss it because you feel so guilty that you're not doing it, then you know it's actually an issue that you need to talk to yourself about.
Yeah, that is a really good way to know if you're doing it out of a control issue or if you genuinely enjoy it. Because if you genuinely enjoy it, you will be able to go without it.
Yeah, because you'll be excited for the time that you can go back, or you'll just be missing it because you miss the people there and you miss the endorphins. But if you're thinking about it, saying, oh, I wish I could go to the gym right now because I want to eat this, or then no. But yeah, I do think definitely early recovery. If you're exercising for fun, you're not.
Yeah. If you are, you're not.
I mean, this is personal experience and thoughts, and obviously it could be different, but I just don't see a way. I really don't.
And it
Just
definitely, I think when people are saying exercise, I think a lot of the time we are referring to going to the gym as well. Like, obviously, if you want to do yoga or go on a walk with your dog or something, like, gentle things that you're not obsessed about, different thing.
Yeah.
But people do need to check with themselves, because I think a lot of people are telling themselves that they're fine when they're not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Agreed.
I know that we're running out of time.
What's the next one? Is there more?
There's one last one.
Ooh. Lots of influencers are only popular because they're wealthy.
Interesting.
Do you know what? When I read that, I was like, true, because growing up, all the influencers and YouTubers and everyone I watched obviously were wealthy.
Will they have to have money to have the desirable life to show that people want, and they have to have money
Yeah.
to buy the products to make the videos.
But I feel like it's changing. I really do feel like it's changing. Okay, Molly May, amazing. I don't watch her to see where she goes on holiday next and what brand she's launching in her new handbag. I will only watch her videos if it's her at home showing the behind the scenes, and obviously her life is not normal, but showing what she does on a normal day. I want to see her in her pajamas ordering a takeaway and sitting on the sofa with her sister. That's what I want to see. I don't watch her for her aspirational lifestyle. In the same sense as when I'm scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, I don't want to see someone doing a £1,000 haul and where they're travelling next week and next month and all of their plans and yada yada yada. I just want to see people that have a normal life. I'm so on the side of TikTok and Instagram where it's people showing what they do in their 9 to 5s and showing what they do in the evening and showing things that do not revolve around having money and having time, just normal people living normal lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen so many TikToks and so many people in the comments where they're so happy that they've transitioned into the side of social media where it's just average people. Like people are sick of seeing this wealthy lifestyle because it's not attainable and it does make you feel like crap.
Yeah.
So I feel like although, yeah, it's nice to look up to people and live this wealthy life through other people's eyes, I feel like things are just taking a turn.
Yeah, I do. I actually agree. I do think it is changing, and I do agree with this person's unpopular opinion that most influencers are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, most influencers are only popular because of their wealth. Because even to make things look aesthetic,
Yeah.
a lot of the time you have to have money to have a nice space to be able to make things look aesthetic.
Yeah, to have things to talk about and post about, you have to have money, because even, to be honest, we struggle with this quite a lot because we don't go out a lot. We don't go for coffees every day and we don't go for dinners and do
Crazy
all this.
holidays.
Yeah, we just don't do that, and we really struggle with finding things to post because I spend every single day either sat at my desk or sat on my sofa. So I really struggle with sharing things because there's nothing for me to share, because I can't take a picture every single day of me sat in the same position. I'm doing work, this, that, the other. Like, there is nothing exciting. Yeah, I've said this a million times.
But that's the issue, because
yeah.
like, you are interesting as a person, but because we've got into our heads that influencers are like these rich, amazing people that like have to have interesting lives, we start feeling like people aren't going to enjoy our content if we are just ourselves. And
Yeah.
like, we push past that and we do post and just be ourselves and show you a real life.
Yeah.
But I think that's the reason that people like us aren't as represented, or
Yeah,
people who
that's so
don't have a
true.
crazy life don't post because they think no one wants to see it.
Yeah, it's a constant like mental battle of I'm boring, because we're fed so much content of people with these crazy lives that are way above the level of normal, that a normal life is now boring.
Yeah, even to just be able to afford to go to one of those the spin classes that people are always at that are like £35 a class, like that's like seemingly quite a simple activity but ends up being really expensive. And
yeah, I did a Pilates class last year. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I really did. And I looked in getting a subscription or just trying to go, I don't know, once every 2 weeks just to get out of the house and do something like peaceful. I found it really relaxing. And I looked at the prices because I did like a free trial thing. I looked at the prices to sign up. Honestly, it was about £300 a month for, I don't know how many classes you got. It worked out something like £20 a class.
oh my god.
And I honestly was like, how does anyone afford to do this?
But how does everyone seem to afford to do it? Because
Yeah.
it seems like everyone's, is it with those machines?
Yeah.
The ones where people are like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know it was that expensive.
It's honestly, I couldn't believe it. And I can't do it. So.
But basically, yeah, all the unpopular opinions here, I think we agreed with.
Yeah. Does
So
that make
thanks,
us
guys.
unpopular?
No, I think it just means that we're all friends and we all have similar thoughts.
Yeah, I'll take it that way.
Yeah, and maybe people who don't align with us will watch this and think that we're terrible people for the things we've said. But that's what unpopular opinions are for.
If you do think opposite to any of these, maybe we've opened your eyes a little bit. Not because there's no right or wrong. You're allowed to think whatever you want to think.
We live on a floating rock.
Yeah, but maybe you've learnt some things that might change your opinion, hopefully for the better.
We love you.
We do.
We want to say thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for being in the comfort zone. If you have any more unpopular opinions, feel free to comment them below.
Yes.
And please comment your wins and wobbles as well.
Mm-hmm.
We love celebrating all the wins with you, and we love normalising the wobbles.
Yep.
So please let us know. This is such a safe space for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note,
see you next week.
see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.